This episode is sponsored by The Break Room, downtown's best spot for a hot lunch every business day.
On this episode, reptiles at the Topeka Zoo, NOTO's 2-block chalk walk, Marsha Pope with Topeka Community Foundation, most of Four Girls Garage, and Dia at the Topeka Library.
Well, we're here with my friend, Brendan Wiley from the Topeka Zoo. Brendan, you have brought a friend for us, right?
You know what, Chris, we did. This summer, one of the neat things that we're doing is a reptile show at our wildlife theater. A reptile show three times a day. It's going to be a great educational experience for kids. And to help explain that, I brought one of the potential stars of that show.
Reptile? What kind of reptile is this?
It's a snake.
A snake? I don't know how I feel about snakes.
You know, snakes can get out of a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so usually we will put them in what we call a snake bag. You may call it a pillowcase, but we apply that technical term to it. And then we put that in a container. And if it's knotted well, then they can't get out.
Okay.
So this snake is one of the most poisonous snakes. No, I'm just kidding.
Poison, all right. All right.
It's
gone. Where did it go? Oh, I feel something up my leg. I'm feeling. What is this?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
You know what, Chris?
What kind of snake is this?
This is a speckled king snake.
A speckled king snake.
Yeah.
All right.
And we can just kind of lay her down on the table here.
All right. Oh, wow.
Her name is Houdini.
Very appropriate.
And one of Houdini's favorite things is to climb around microphones.
Yeah, she's doing a great job of it.
We'll kind of steer her around here. But king snakes are, first of all, every snake is beneficial in some way. But these guys have a unique attribute that makes them really good neighbors to have around, because king snakes actually eat other snakes.
Oh.
Including venomous snakes.
Oh.
So if you're in part of the country or part of Kansas where some of those poisonous snakes are common.
If they're not poisonous themselves, how do they hunt poisonous snakes, or how does that work?
Well, they can be very quick.
Okay.
And if you'll notice, Houdini is very active.
Quick. Yeah.
Yep. Made it right from somehow out of this bag over to
you. Making new friends here today.
That's right. Very active, but Houdini, or king snakes, are actually constrictors. So they're quick, they'll wrap around their prey and literally suffocate it.
Wow.
But they don't back down from a whole lot.
Now, how big do king snakes get?
Actually, this speckled king is an adult.
Okay.
We think it's about 14 years old.
Oh, 14 years old.
I've been calling her she. The truth is, we don't really know.
Okay.
Although they can be sexed to find out what gender they are. We just haven't had the need to do that. But she's probably 2/3 the way through her life, full grown.
Wow.
Lives in the Gary Clark living classroom at the zoo. So if you're ever out there, you can see her home, but this summer might be down at the Wildlife Theater on stage.
Very cool. So you've got these shows going on down at the Wildlife Theater. This is a new thing?
You know, we last year we took out some old playground equipment that just was. We'd gone through a series of years where we kept taking away the broken parts, and then finally we weren't left with much. So we took it all out, and in its place we built a little stage, and had no idea how popular that would become. So this year we made the decision to increase the programming quality a little bit, and we're producing this little reptile show through our education department.
How cool.
And we'll be 3 times a day, 7 days a week, from Mother's Day weekend through August 15th, and then we'll go to weekends through the end of September.
Spectacular.
So.
Wonderful stuff. Well, this is quite a surprise. Houdini came in here. I am a magic aficionado, so I can appreciate You know, from a pillowcase to a straitjacket, it makes no sense, no difference here for Houdini.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much for bringing Houdini by. It's very cool. Did you bring any others Houdinis around just to make sure, you know, we would...
Pretty sure this is the only one we got away with.
Well, if not, Houdini got him.
That's right.
There you go. That's Brendan Wiley of the Topeka Zoo, folks. Get out there, check out the reptile show that they'll be having all summer long right out at the Topeka Zoo. Thanks for so much for joining us, and thanks, Houdini. I think that was a thanks. Right?
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Well, here in the studio, we got some friends from NOTO. If you're familiar with Two Wolves Studio, Four Girls Garage, well, you're going to know these guys right off the bat. We have Alexander Lancaster, and we have Aaron Hatton Landwehr. How are you?
Good.
Great. Thank you so much for being here today. You guys are talking about a very interesting event happening. We're talking about NOTO, basically. The actual name is 2 Block Chalk Walk here.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this event.
Well, this event kind of started with just putting some chalk out and getting people to just use it. I used to put "use me" and circle it, and then it turned into let's just make a whole day out of it. It was one of our guerrilla street art raids, and so we got everybody together and put a box of chalk in front of each building and invited people to come out for the whole day and just try to connect the 2 blocks with any kind of art on the 5x5 square, and to continue for 2 blocks and try to make some kind of record, or Topeka record at least. Yeah.
Now let's rewind just a little bit. The Guerrilla Street Arts Raid. Now tell us a little bit about that. How did that start out? The
Guerrilla Street Art Raid started out with me and a couple of friends, Judd and Mason, and we would just show up in NOTO and just like put art on the wall and on outside, lean it up against the wall, and Judd would do his street thing. And
he can make anything with strings talk.
Yes,
he's amazing.
Just an amazing musician and talented artist. Very, very much. Oh yeah, he's an incredible guy. And from there, it turned into have his band show up, and then we started having bands show up and kind of just unannounced, and then we'd start letting people know, hey, tonight we're going to have a band out in front of our place, and then from there it turned into even bigger, and we ended up having 6 bands by the end of last year, and we had the bounce house and several different things going on with vendors and artists and stuff. So it's one of those things just to keep NOTO vibrant.
But when this Guerrilla Street Arts Raid, those types of things start happening, how did you get involved with them? How does that work as a neighborhood?
As a neighborhood, we just are looking to support these things that are, to me, what an arts district is about. It's about getting out there and celebrating the art and supporting the artists. And as a retailer and now as a partner in an art gallery, I mean, I kind of see both sides of it, how it's kind of a symbiotic relationship. We need each other, and we're there to support the art. There are a lot of communities in our area who are very envious of the fact that we have a wonderful art scene here, and we show it off.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, and even antiques, it's a great area for that as well. It's really found its niche, so yeah. Well, I thank you for all your energy you put into this, and thank you for all your energy as well.
Thank you for your support.
Yeah, absolutely. It takes a village, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And a wonderful way to get out and support the energy of the folks in NOTO is getting out there May 9th for the 2 Block Chalk Walk. I really do appreciate you guys coming out. That chalk walk is going to be in the 800 and 900 blocks. What time frame here?
From 9 till dark, whatever time
9 till
be.
dark. So there you go. A wonderful reason to get out and explore the creative side of Topeka. So thank you very much. Of course, that's Alexander Lancaster and Aaron Hatton Landwehr here. I really do appreciate you dropping in. Joining me is Marsha Pope, the Vice President of the Topeka Community Foundation. How you doing, Marsha?
Good.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Now, you did some really cool stuff. You gave away $100,000 in scholarships. Tell me about this. That's the first thing we want to kick off.
We did. We have a scholarship reception every year where not only are we able to recognize the students who have won our scholarships, but the donors who created the scholarship funds are there, and so we are able to connect them on that night. So we read a little bit about why the scholarships were created, and often those are under sad circumstances, but they're honoring the life of someone, so it makes the scholarship that the student won even more meaningful.
And especially for those who organize the scholarships and understand how important it is to be able to see it really makes some difference.
Right. Often the student will meet the scholarship donor and exchange email addresses. They're able to then report to them how they're progressing and getting their degree. And then the donor gets to know really what a difference they've made in the life of that student.
And in $100,000, how many different scholarships are a part of that?
Yeah, I don't even have a
Just
count.
a lot.
Yeah, we recognize the individual scholarships that evening, but we also manage scholarships for like the ABWA and for some organizations. And so all together, hundreds of scholarships.
That's got to be a fun job.
It is a fun job, right?
It's like Oprah.
Yeah.
Free cars, you get a car, you get a car.
You get a scholarship.
Very cool. We have an event coming up here on the 29th. It is the Women's Fun Luncheon. Tell us about that.
That's right. That really, the Women's Fund is based on the idea of collective giving. So you can do great things with your $25 and I can do great things with my $25, but together we can do more with our $50. So over 200 women in our community have contributed to the Women's Fund. 50% of every dollar goes into endowment and 50 cents of every dollar goes to grant making. And this year when we announce our grants, we will go over the $250,000 mark that we've granted to our community in the areas of financial literacy for women and their children and arts programs in after school for children. Wow,
Incredible programs. $250,000.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That just Topeka is such a giving and caring community. Really is. Well, and I go, that's got to be great to be able to go to work every day and know that you're making a difference really with that. And that's what our friends at the Topeka Community Foundation are doing, helping those organizations who do that. A lot of other organizations.
That's right.
You act as kind of the
Yeah, we don't have programs and projects of our own, but we assist those great organizations in our community that are so important.
Providing those essential tools
That's
that
right.
they need. Now let's talk a little bit about Topeka Gives. That's coming up this year at Fairlawn Plaza.
Fairlawn Plaza.
When's the date?
Tuesday, June 2nd.
Okay, everybody should have that on their calendars. Now let's explain, just give the elevator speech about this event.
Right. This is an event where there's 133 participating organizations. You can come to Fairlawn Plaza that day. It's an in-person event, so cash, check, or credit card in person that day. Can support up to 5 organizations who are participating in the event. And the Community Foundation has $56,500 in match money. So every dollar that you give will be matched at some rate, and then 100% of your gift plus our match goes to the organizations that you select.
Wow, what an incredible way to make your money count even more.
Right.
Really. Where does the Community Foundation raise the $56,000 from?
Right. We have a small amount of unrestricted dollars that we use and some field of interest funds that we put toward that. But additionally, one of the things that we do is we are able to work with our donors to help them, connect them to causes that they care about. And this year, donors came forward and contributed over $11,000 to help move the match money from $35,000 last year up to $56,500 this year.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And what does it do for the organizations represented there? Does it give them a little networking opportunity?
Well, what we've heard, the feedback that we've received, is that even if you take the money away from the event, them being able to talk to each other is incredible. It's a chance that they don't have any other time. So not only does the community come in and they can get volunteers that day and they can educate people in our community about the great work that they're doing, but they also get to talk to each other. We've heard last year, we had a great story. Sunshine Connection, a mental health organization here in town, was purchasing the food for their constituents. They got hooked up with harvesters. Harvesters said, we can provide that for you. So now those hard-earned dollars that Sunshine Connection has can be used in other things rather than feeding their members. So just great stories like that.
And again, it comes back, when you speak about donors, this can be anybody. These is anybody who has, I mean, you give a $25 gift.
$25.
You know, that's the thing. So you want to go there and fight. Let's say you want to just look and say, I have $100. I'm going to give $25 to 4 places. I'm going to go shopping around. You've just given $200 to the community.
Well, depending on what the match rate is.
Okay.
Last year, the match rate was about 13 cents on every dollar. What we do is the amount, we take $56,500 and divide it by the amount that comes in that day.
Oh, good. So you have
so
more than...
So it's a prorated match.
Okay,
right.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's even better because you know you have that much coming in to the community. So what a wonderful opportunity to give to your community and to celebrate your community and give get yourself educated about the different programs that exist, because there are so many people that in this show I've met a lot of the folks who participate in Topeka Gives,
Right.
and it's been eye-opening. I've lived here my whole life. A lot of these organizations I had no idea they existed.
Right.
So it's really a great opportunity to get out there and find out about some of the needs in the community and to help them out and make your contributions to them. So.
And something we found by having it in June also is people can bring their children, and children can come and learn about the different organizations, and even there's volunteer opportunities for them.
It's a fun day.
It is.
And Fairlawn Plaza really does light up with energy that
It
day.
is.
It's lit up all the time. Let's say Fairlawn Plaza is a great spot, especially for being a gracious host of this event. How many years has it been for
This will be our third year.
Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. That's incredible.
Yeah, when you think that it was created as a one-time event to celebrate our 30th anniversary, but because of all the positive things that happened because of it, we're back for the third year.
Well, okay, so you guys, thank you again for the
Thank you.
$100,000 of
That's right.
scholarships that you granted out. That's really
right.
spectacular. The Women's Fun Luncheon is the 29th. How do folks find out about information if they're interested in attending?
They can go to womensfuntopeka.org, or they can call the Community Foundation and give us their RSVP that way.
Okay, excellent. And of course, don't forget about Topeka Gives in June. Make sure that's on your calendar and save up your pennies so you can get out there and help to make those pennies count for even much more. That's Marsha Pope, the
right.
Vice President of the Topeka Community Foundation. Thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you.
Here in the studio, we have 3 girls of 4 Girls Garage in Noto. We've got Carol Ingenthorn, we've got Debbie Geist, and we've got Erin Hatton Landwehr. How are you all doing today?
We're good.
Thank you so much for joining us. Really do appreciate you being here. Now you've got you're like Noto entrepreneurs. You've been in this business over there for a while, coming together, making things happen. Let's talk a little bit about how 4 Girls Garage came together. Which one of you wants to take it?
Well, I think we all kind of started in Noto at pretty close to the same time, and we started at the 2 Days Market that used to be across the street when they were in their smaller building. And the 3 of us, Debbie, Sandy, and I, have been friends for years and years, and we had kind of started redoing furniture and doing those fun things, and then we met Erin through the 2 Days Market and decided we wanted to do this more than a couple of days a month. So we kind of got together, and that's when we bought our building, and it's been almost 3 years now.
Yeah, 3 years. And now, you know, the statistics are like people who open a business, like 95% of them fail the first year or something. It's not, 3 years is a long time to be lasting in an area where many people several years ago might have said, what are you thinking about? So you took that dive and things seem to be working. Things are going well and you're able to grow. And so tell us about the road, the last 3 years. What has it been like?
It's actually been a lot of fun. We've learned by trial and error, and it's been a lot more work than I think I expected. But
You mean nobody handed you a manual that told you all the answers? Right?
that's exactly. If you know one, we'd
It's
like
like having
that.
kids, right? It
yes.
really is.
But we've had a lot of fun, and the 4 of us work very well together. And the fact that there is 4 of us, it still gives us time to shop, time to redo furniture, and repurpose things, and so it's been a lot of fun.
Now the 4th girl is Sandy Martin, and she apparently took a trip because she didn't want to do this interview. Is that how this
That's
works?
what we told her.
Oh, yeah.
She better come back with
blamed her
shopping.
on
We'll
that.
make her do a solo like next time. Excellent. Well, what's it like being over in Noto and seeing the growth over in Noto? Erin, you want to talk about
It's
that one?
wonderful. There is no other place we would rather be in Topeka. There's such a great amount of support in the city for Noto. And we love our neighbors, and it's become a destination spot, not just for people in Topeka, but for people in the region.
It really has. Have you had a lot of people from outside of Topeka come in and talk to you about maybe they didn't think what's happening there was possible here? Because I feel like that's a conversation I've had with several folks, and you guys being over in the middle of it, I'm sure you've probably heard it a few times. What's that like?
Well, it's not just people from outside the city who come and think, oh, I had no idea this was going on in Topeka. We hear comparisons to Weston and other places that have kind of the small retail districts, but it's people who grew up in North Topeka, too, coming back and saying, we didn't know it could be like this. What a great change.
How excited they are to see it.
Yeah.
And didn't realize that how large it really has become, how many stores there are and how many art studios, and there's always events going on. I think people are surprised just how active the area is.
Very good. Well, I really do appreciate you ladies coming by here to talk about Four Girls Garage today, and I wish you the best as you continue on. And congratulations on 3 years. That's a huge achievement.
Thank you so much for having us. We
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Anytime you have something, come on back and share it with us.
Okay,
We'd love
we'll
to.
do it.
That's Carol Ingenthorn, Debbie Geist, and Erin Hatton Landwehr from Four Girls Garage in the Noto Arts District. Get out, check them out. They're right there. They're waiting for you Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Joining me is my friend Diana Friend from the Topeka and Shawnee County Public Library, and we're talking about Dia. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Big celebration happening at the library on the 30th.
Yes.
Yeah, tell us about this.
Well, it's really, DIA is a shortened acronym for Dia de los Niños, Day of the Children, Day of the Books. And it is an annual celebration that all public libraries have the community celebration of diversity more than anything else. It's introducing children to different cultures through books and through different experiences. We've been doing DIA for probably close to 10 years now. We have some wonderful librarians and wonderful community partners that they come in for an evening celebration with food, music, performances, and of course some books.
There's a long list of community partners on this that you're all working with here. So really, you can tell it's very well received in the community.
You will see amazing animals, and El Centro, Heavenly Vision Foundation, Indian Association of Topeka. They're going to have a food activity, going to make mango ice cream sundaes.
Okay, I'll be there.
Okay. The Islamic Center of Topeka will be there. Mana de Topeka will be there. Parents as teachers. Supersonic Music is bringing in an instrument petting zoo.
Okay, what's this?
Well, you know what a petting zoo is with animals. Well, we're substitute instruments, and because we are celebrating cultures from around the world, I am assuming that it will be instruments from around the world. So
Interesting.
If you've wanted to play some bongos, or, you know, Australia has that one pole that makes that noise.
Yeah, they're like the rain stick kind of thing. Yeah.
And
they've got some great, and Supersonic Music's a great partner in the community here for that.
And Dia actually, takes over the library. Marvin Auditorium will be filled with booths, as well as there'll be some along the way in the kids' library. Washburn University, their Black Student Union will be there, as well as their French Club and their Hispanic American Leadership Organization. And Women Empowerment will come and be talking about things, because it's really, really important for people to realize that Topeka is a very diverse community.
Certainly
and
is.
This is one place where you can come in and get a little sampling of things that you might not have known Topeka was famous for.
And a great way to celebrate all of the different cultures that we have in our community, really bringing them all together and celebrating what makes us diverse and unique here. So great way to bring a great lesson plan for those kids to bring them out and celebrate at the library, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do it, right?
All right.
We're going to be there on the 30th, 6 to 8:45 at the Topeka and Shawnee County Public Library. Thank you, Diana Friend. Thank you so much for talking with us today about this.
Where should we be looking?
Just look over at me.
At you.
And don't pay any attention to these guys unless you actually want to say something to the camera, and then get out here with that.
First Friday.
Yeah, there you go.
Be there.